Hi, my name is Yusuf. I'm going to read a poem titled Jibanananda's Ghost Tram. Jibanananda Das was a Bengali poet who died in 1954 after being struck by a tram in Kolkata. So this poem kind of picks up from that place. Jibanananda's Ghost Tram. No respite to these resplendent summers. Beads of light sweating down street lamps into gutters. Arati cinders simmer in pistons. You trawl your bone-dry fountain pens along Kolkata's concrete, corralling orphan strands of moonlight, starlight, night after night, but tonight no imagery glistens. Each poet will write their own hell. In mine, like yours, I'll be condemned to beauty. Break screeching malaria, engine dust gasping, the lone mosquito who followed you to death, drumming in your ear. You pay unending tariffs with lunar images. Full moon, a lingam's tip clinks in the toll box. Fee to Cheyenne Bajar, but far cries from cliffs of crude moonlight you dream of. Iron rails staked to grooves of air. Full moon like a beggar's cataract, barely a single fare. Did an image of the moon kill you, paralyzed by an eclipse of beauty? Or was it an everyday word suddenly blinding? Brihospatibar. Storm clouds massive as a god's casket, hauled beyond horizon. Scattered stars set up stalls, but no more moons tonight, not for you with those worn eyes. Ashes of the dead wash up on the banks of the Kirtankola, banks of the Bishkali. Trail your tram in a kilometer-long jute noose, hungry for necks. Hound you with the same question people of the earth once begged. Jibanananda, is there another world? Thank you.
My poems that appear in the winter issue of Brick are excerpted from my long poem Let Them Rest, which is from my new collection of poetry, Field Requiem. Southwest, 26, 36, 22, west of 2nd. Buckbrush, snowberry, speargrass, prairie wool, fescue, seated by outturned pockets, torn hems from the steps. Styptic sky, astringent, cirrus, alkali rime on harrowed dirt. A bachelor shack in the back 40. Porch overgrown with caraganas. Pull yourself through the kitchen window, glass shot out decades ago. Breathe the charnel reek, the cracked open casket of the nation's turn-of-the-century bullshit promises, adipose gleam of barley and wheat. Hung over the kitchen door, blue-bibbed overalls, grease-stained knees, chewed-on rubber boots in the leaf-shaded entrance, men's size 11, 2 sets. Open the cupboard above the sink, mouse shit and Watkins cinnamon, red rose tea, can of Brunswick sardines, shelves lined with pages from the Western Producer, dated April 4th, 1958, headlines of Diefenbaker's landslide victory, postulant of Sir John A., his cribbed expansionist speech, a new vision, a new hope, a new soul, cocked and loaded for Arctic minerals. Breathe deep the viral load, pollen, saliva, feces, avian and animal. The fever sets in, undoes the tiny clasp, hook and eye of your peripheral sight. See them. In a slick of kerosene light, brothers at the kitchen table, 2 plates, 2 forks, 2 knives, pork grease, Heinz beans, post-war Germans. 10s, 20s, 50s, life savings squirreled in black cat tobacco tins. 3 or 4 beef cattle, a chicken coop. Wearing mother's apron, the younger brother bakes bread and kuchen. At night he sleeps as though still crouched in her womb. Quarter of land, calcareous loam, low yields, saline sloughs, forage crops, alfalfa, wild rye, stones. Once a July, they pack up their 1950 deluxe DeSoto, egg sandwiches, black coffee, hair brill creamed. They fish Last Mountain Lake for walleye, pike, mostly weeds. In a good year, a hotel meal at Arlington Beach. No one writes. Parents, a sister, buried in old world cinders of war. After supper feder, orange pico steam, curdled milk, pipe smoke, plates pushed aside, the older brother goes to the Gutestube, gear shift groan of the brown leather recliner, dry sough of last week's Western producer. Before washing dishes, the younger sits at the table with a mug of tea, leans back in his chair, stretches his legs, can't digest the gut hunch that he only knows love by its lack. 20 years later, this is where the older will find him, in from calving, stinking of blood and yeast. He'll call and there'll be silence, brain aneurysm, heart attack. Head laying on gray formica, above the Yagstu cuckoo they bought from Bottrop bursts, swing of doors, the happy couple twirl and twirl in black forest filigree, crowned with rifle and stag. Northeast 10, 36, 22, west of 2nd. Canola, pulse, cereal, flax. The field northwest of the yard site, past the shelter belt of unshaved evergreens, caraganas and buffalo beans growing through rusted machinery, grain cart and auger, pull-type swather circa 1984. Canola, pulse, cereal, flax, brushed nap of stubble, GPS-tracked, factory-stamped seed rows, clots of soil, desiccated scabs, claw marks from the heavy harrow spreading last season's trash, straw, chaff. Canola, pulse, cereal, flax, Roundup, anhydrous ammonia, nitrogen gas, granular phosphorus, sulfur, potash, 120 pounds per acre of wheat seed, broadleaf herbicide, fungicide, insecticide, glyphosate-resistant ragweed in low spots and sloughs. Contagion of snow geese, their many-throated scream. A terrible forgetting. This is where the boy felt the animal's wet-eyed stare. Coyote, fox, jackrabbit, badger. This is where he followed tracks, set snares in estrus scent and molt, scat, shed fur. This is where he lay, a deer's wallow of slender wheatgrass, bluegrass, brome, and sedge, watched catkins lift in updrafts, soft rattle of aspens, dozed in the heavy breath of bloom, balsam, wolf willow, chokecherries, Saskatoons. This is where he came in sorrow after his father made him shoot the horned owl perched in the spruce north of the chicken coop. No proof the owl killed chicks. Now this is where the man, neck in the noose of profit margins and farm credit, runs the roam plow, the bush disc, clears scrub, rakes roots for 40 more acres to seed next spring. The owl's wingspan, at least 5 feet, though it weighed no more than what he could hold in his 10-year-old palms. All feathers and fluff, shadow and light. After dusk, this is where the man watches the piled bush burn, remembers the owl's yellow eyes. Hiss and snap of heat, sap, leaves, hank of dew, osteoache, the shrinking moon. Thank you.